Okay, gang, part 7 in this series. So, what is going on with silver? And the question is, what would we do with it today? Would you buy it today? And I'm going to show you two things. One is I'm going to talk about its valuation as a ratio of the weight to gold. And I mentioned how in first century Rome it was 12 to 1, and then in medieval Europe, and then later in the US it was closer, anywhere from 10 to 1 to 16 to 1. And then it was left afloat, and it's been anywhere in the 20th century from 40 to 1 to 100 to 1. And when I last checked, you could probably, because gold has been rising too, the ratio is something like 50 to 1. So it's one of the higher valuations that it has been in the 20th century. 100 to 1 being a very low valuation, 40 to 1 being higher than it is today. And so is that a good value? How do you figure that? I mentioned in an earlier video that one way to think about this is if this is money, you could just trade it for dollars. You could buy dollars for silver or silver for dollars. So how many dollars does silver buy? And I mentioned how, a year ago, if I gave the broker a silver bullion coin, I'd get $29 for it, $25 for it, whatever it was at the time. And today, I would get $95 minus the commission from the broker. So that's a big difference. The coin hasn't changed one bit. So I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question as a way to sort of figuring out what you think after this discussion, this series, what do you think silver really represents to you? And I'm going to offer you a choice. 2 stacks of money. Let's say that's about $5,000. On the left is a stack of $100 bills, freshly printed right from the bank, $100 Benjamins. Would you choose that stack, or would you choose the stack of silver bullion coins that I grabbed off the web? These aren't sitting on my desk. I grabbed this off the web. Would you choose that stack on the right? So now just put this all into context. What does it represent to you philosophically? Thinking about silver as potential, as money in the past, potential money currently, potential money in the future. What does that really represent? Your mindset is more consumer oriented at the moment, and you're thinking, hey, 5,000 bucks, I can get a down payment on a decent car, take the cash, be easy to carry down to the dealership. But if you're thinking about the future, maybe, this might represent security. In the future, I'm watching what's happening to the price of silver in dollars or the price of dollars in silver. And, maybe that stack represents a better bet. Maybe it represents a hedge, some kind of future security. I can tell you a lot of people out there that look at it that way. I'd like to think of it as intelligent people acting prudently. So if you've learned something from this discussion, maybe you choose the stack and then you put it someplace safe. You can store it professionally in a depository. They're all over the country. So this completes my discussion of silver. We'll take up different topics next time, but this one seems to be relevant today. I hope this is interesting to you. That's all my 2 cents worth. Okay, bye now.